questions.
Okay.
So one of the questions you've already answered, and that was about when you decided to open, and that was 3 years ago, and when you opened, and your partner Tina opened with you because you had been working in a bookstore and thought it would be a good idea. So we've already answered the first two questions that I had on my list, but I do have a question about what is your favorite thing about running a local bookstore, and what is your least favorite thing about running a local bookstore?
Oh gosh, well, my favorite thing is the customers, and we have just the most wonderful customers and people who have become friends over time, and so that's absolutely my favorite thing. I also, Tina and I enjoy looking for interesting, unique product to carry in the store that you might not see someplace else. So we try to support not only local authors, but local artists and artisans. So our jewelry is made by local artisans, and we love supporting the way the community has supported us. We like to turn around and support the community back. We've also been very involved with a philanthropy called Blessings in a Backpack. We've been running food drives. So there's and we kind of pivoted on that during the pandemic. We were collecting family meal bags that customers and people would come in and drop off food for children to who are at risk. So that's been my favorite thing. As far as least favorite thing, I would say it's hard to escape from it. You know, you're constantly thinking about how you can make it better, what you can do. So it has become all encompassing. And there are times when I think it would be nice just to kind of turn off the mind.
Yes. Right.
And since opening the bookstore, I would say I've probably read the least that I've read in my whole entire life, just because we are so busy with the store. So sometimes I feel like my reading has taken a hit, and I miss that and look to put that back in my life.
Okay, well, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering if that would be an issue.
Yeah, definitely something to think about when you open your own business.
Yes.
Because it becomes all encompassing, and you're surrounded with it all day, every day. You can't get away from it. But you do have a great partner to work with, and I guess that's probably another positive plus.
Well, a great partner and great employees too, because each one of our employees is good at something different. So something that I'm not good at, one of our other employees is fantastic at. And that's
makes a nice balance then.
It makes a great balance, and it makes a great team. And that's been a key part of our success, is having wonderful people who work for us.
Great. That's awesome. If you could have anything added to your bookstore, what would you add?
More customers.
Oh yeah.
Just like authors are looking for more readers, and sometimes it's just hard for how do more people find you? So just the way you're looking for more readers, we are looking for more customers.
Right, and more reviews.
Yes.
We're looking for more reviews.
Yeah.
Like, if you've read our book, leave a review. Okay, so which author would you love to have come for a book signing? If you could have any author come for a book signing, who would you have?
Oh gosh, that's such a hard question, because there's so many wonderful authors out there that we would love to have. I think the thing that was most heartbreaking of all is right as COVID hit, we were supposed to have Lisa C., who wrote one of my favorite books of all time, Snowflower and the Secret Fan, and she was actually supposed to come to the store, and that was literally the week that COVID hit. And I'm sorry that never happened.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, which book is a book that you've wanted to read for a long time, but just have never gotten around to it yet?
Oh, there's so many.
What would be like a white elephant book for you? White whale or something.
Yeah, it's funny, because I always thought I was a very well-read person until I opened this bookstore and saw there's so many books.
There's so little time.
I always say there's so many books and so little time. So, but every year I kind of make it goal to read a classic, and so I would like to cross more classics off my list.
Do you have one in particular in mind?
Maybe more Dickens.
Okay.
So, and yeah, that's
our book club next. Well, I guess it's in May, actually. Our book club, one of my book, I'm in 2 book clubs. I'm in a DAR book club that reads historical fiction or history, and then I'm in another book club that reads everything, including we have to read a classic.
Yeah.
That's always on our list, and that book is in May, and it's one that I chose, actually, a classic. I chose As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner.
Yeah.
And I have never read it. I have never read Faulkner.
Yeah.
But I chose that book, and I'm looking forward to reading it for that book club.
Yeah.
And then I have one other question, and then we're going to go to MK's question. What is the latest, trendiest book that you just read and that you loved? Or it could be trendiest book that you maybe haven't read yet, but you want to read.
Well, as far as trends, we're seeing a lot that is popular on Book Talk. So
yeah, on TikTok, Book Talk.
TikTok, Book Talk. So I would like.
I'm on TikTok.
So I would like to read. Colleen Hoover is on my list to read, which my daughter has, and then romance novels. Romance novels are very popular, and but of course I always love my personal genre is cozy mysteries. Not always with a paranormal twist, but I do like that. So yeah, there's a lot of books I'd like to read.
It's just finding the time to do so.
Okay. Well, MK, do you want to ask?
I just had a couple of questions. About the authors that you've had come in. Have you had any of big traditional published authors for a book signing?
So I think one of our most popular authors that we've had and who has come back several times is Karen White. She lives over in the Milton area, and she writes, she's got a mystery series that has The House on Trad Street, and there's some the Trad Street novels is her series, and I have loved those. They're set in Charleston. She is a big supporter of local bookstores. So we super appreciate Karen.
Now, do you do a lot of more indie author book signings, or how does that usually go?
Well, so that's a very good question, because we because of COVID. Right. A lot of that got shut down, so we were building that kind of aspect of our business, and then it kind of went away, and it has really just started to return. Yeah,
I was going to say, has most of traditional shopping for a bookstore, have you seen an increase in the recent
Yes. We're very lucky because the community has been very supportive and wanting to shop local, and they've been very intentional with shopping local, and we very much appreciated our community for supporting us. I do think during the Delta and Omicron waves that people stepped back, but they're now stepping back in again. So
that's awesome. So one of the things, like you said, opening a bookstore would be like my dream. Okay, someday maybe. Was it like a long process for you to be able to have this?
It took a while from, we started with dreaming about it and then talking about it, and then putting ideas in place and writing a business plan. And then once we started getting more serious about it, well, then where would you want to be located? And then once you think you know where you want to be located, how are you going to build out the space? And then once you build out the space, how are you going to fill the space? Right. And then once you fill the space and open the doors,
then what? It's like, then what?
Yes.
Yes, I totally get that. Okay. Yeah. That's just something I was kind of just wondering how the process works. Because it's not a Barnes and Noble. It's not something like that.
Yeah, you're not buying
a franchise.
Yeah, you're not buying a franchise. Right. So it's kind of having an idea of being in going into a lot of different bookstores and what did you like in, one bookstore and what did you like in another bookstore. And I still do that to this day. When I travel, I go to bookstores and gift stores and, what do they carry? What's kind of unique? What's interesting? And just trying to, kind of develop your own vision.
Yes,
but if other people have wonderful ideas, kind of.
But I love the idea, though, that you have not just books.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a plethora of fun gifts, not just puzzles and not just books, but you've got jewelry, you've got ceramics, you've got paintings, you've got, everything.
Yes.
I love this store.
Well, I think a big part of that is, let's face it, if we're competing with Amazon,
What's going to make you stand out more,
what's going to make people want
Yes.
to walk in the door versus just click a button
Exactly.
and order something online.
Right.
But see, this is what I love. This is what I love is because you have everything here, you know, and it's just, you can touch it, and I can just open the pages and stuff like that.
Shopping can either be convenience or it can be a leisure activity.
Yes.
So, and I think when it's a leisure activity, you want to find those unique things that you wouldn't normally be looking for.
Exactly.
And when you come to John Street Book Thinking, that's exactly what you find is the unusual, unordinary, unique gifts and items that you're surprised to find, and you're glad that you were shopping that day.
Right. Well, thanks, Terry.
Oh,
That's what we're setting out to do.
You are. This is. I love this place.
and next month we are going to have we're going to be back live for the podcast here